Okay, in the last class now we have discussed about the derivation of the integrated rate equation for zero order as well as for first order action we have studied following. In the last class now we have discussed about the relation like this regarding the integrated rate equation for the first order reaction, nothing but a rate constant of a first order reaction. And this derivation is very important as already I told in the last class. Okay, now what I am telling, we know that regarding the integrated rate equation for the first order reaction, what is it? K is equal to 1 by T into ln of R naught by R. So by taking ln x is equal to 2.303 into log x, we can also write in this manner, K is equal to 2.303 by T into log of R naught by R. Following. So this is what the equation we have studied. So this can be written as like this, is it not? So log R naught divided by R is equals to K into T divided by 2.303. Like this also we can write. Following. And one more form also we can write regarding what no? This integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. So this is one form and this is one form. Okay, this one also one more form it is. And here, so KT divided by 2.303 is equal to log R naught, okay, minus log R also we can take. Log R naught minus log R. And this equation can be written as log R is equal to S minus KT divided by 2.303 plus log R naught. Like this also we can represent the integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. So this is one of the form is correct. It is one of the form also correct. This can be written in this manner or this can be written in this manner also. And you see this equation is similar to that of the equation of the straight line. This equation is similar to that of equation of the straight line. How it is similar to the equation of the straight line? Y is equal to mx form it is. Y is equal to mx. Suppose if you plot a graph regarding this one, log R naught divided by R along y axis if you take, okay, and along x axis now, what is it? T, that is time along the x axis if we take, we get the slope, that is what na? The slope from the origin in this manner. So that is the slope of the straight line you are getting. Here now the slope is equal to k divided by 2.303. K divided by 2.303. So this is the one of the equation regarding the integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. These points are very important as far as the competitive examination point of view. If you plot a graph of log R naught by R versus T, what you are getting? That is straight line from the origin. For the straight line I have to take the slope. Then what is the value of this slope? Slope is equal to K by 2.303. These are all important points. You should remember well about what no? That integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. And suppose if you take like this also, the first order reaction can be written in this manner also. You know that KT by 2.33 is equal to log R naught minus log R. Is it not? Or this equation can be written as log R is equal to what? Minus KT by 2.33 plus log R naught. This equation also similar to that of the equation of the straight line. That is y is equal to mx plus c form it is. That is minus mx plus c form. We are reading no straight line from the graph. So how can you draw the graph here, you see? So now along the y axis we have to take what now? Log R along what now that y axis, and along the x axis we have to take what now that is time as it is. So if you plot a graph of log R against time t, we are getting what now? That is negative slope. This is nature of the graph we are getting. Following all of you? Therefore, this point is what is called now? That is y-intercept. C is equal to, that is log R naught value it is. Log R naught value. Then what is the slope of this straight line, you know? then what is the slope of the straight line? Slope of the straight line is equal to, if you plot a graph of log r versus t, you are getting the negative slope, and here no, that y-intercept is equal to what? No, that is r0 only, that is log r0, and the slope is equal to minus k divided by 2.303. So in this way we should know all the points regarding the integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. Integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. These are all the different forms of the first order reaction, you know. So this you can write in this manner, or in this manner, or in this manner. All these are correct only. And this equation is similar to that equation of the straight line. When you plot a graph of log r0 by r versus time t, you are getting the straight line from the origin only. It obeys what that equation of the straight line. Even this form can be written in this manner also. Kt by 2.03 is equal to log r0 minus log r. Even log r is equal to what? Minus kt by 2.03 plus log r0. And here this equation also similar to that of what equation of the straight line. Hence, if you plot a graph of log r against t, you are getting what? That is y-intercept, that is log r0 only, and the slope of the straight line is equal to what? Minus k by 2.303. So these are all the different forms regarding that first order equation, that is integrated rate equation for the first order reaction, or the rate constant for a first order reaction. All these are very important point. Don't neglect. You read the points carefully. Even it is given in the notes itself. You have to refer the notes properly and understand the concept. Following all of you. So this is regarding some points about the integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. Even the first order reaction can also be written like this. What is it now? That is k is equal to 2.303 divided by t into log to the base 10 of a divided by a minus x. Like this also we can write. What is it? Integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. This can be written in this manner. 2.03 by t into 2.03 by t into log of r0 by r. What is it? Small a is called here now? Small a is called initial concentration of the reactant before start of the reaction. What is the concentration of reactant? That is called initial concentration only. Here also the same thing. What is that? R0 is called initial concentration of the reactant. Initial concentration of reactant means the before start of the reaction. What is the concentration of the reactant? At the time t is equal to 0 we take. For that now we take the R0. R0 means initial concentration of the reactant. In place of R0 now we can take small a itself here. And what is it? X is called here? Concentration of the reactant reacted. How much reactant it is reacted? Then what is a minus x? It is the concentration of the reactant after the time interval. After certain time interval, what is the concentration of the reactant left unreacted? That is what a minus x. Here the same thing only. Capital R is nothing but the concentration of the reactant left unreacted after certain time. So in that way, all these variables are very important. All these variety of what that first order rate constant equation is very important. In different manner we are studying. Just to see all these points about what integrated rate equation for a first order reaction. These are all very very important. And remember the thing, this equation usually we take in the numerical part. Based on this formula, there will be 3 marks or 4 marks questions available in the PU level examinations. Even in the competitive exams also, based on this formula, number of questions will be appearing. So that to remember the formula. What is that integrated rate equation for the first order reaction? In which what are these variables? Like what now? It may be small t or r0, even it may be the capital R. These are all very important only. Remember all the points here. Instead of this one, we can also use here. K is equal to 2.33 by t into log of a by a minus x can also be used. What is it? A is called initial concentration. A minus x is called concentration after the time interval t. And here no, small t is called, that is time taken only. 2.33 is constant. In that way, you have to remember all these points regarding integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. These are all very very important what I am telling you all. Following all of you. Okay. Okay, we'll see that one more term what is called a half-life period. What is this half-life period, you know? Half-life period means it is a half reaction, completion of the half of that reaction, that is called half life. Half life period means it is a time required to complete the exactly 50% of the reaction. Time required to complete exactly 50% of the reaction, that is called half life period. Or the half of the initial concentration is reduced to exactly half of its initial value, is also called as half life period. Yes, tell me now, this term is very important, even what I am telling. Sometime now there will be one more question regarding half life period. What is meant by the term half life period? What is meant by the term half life period? The time in which molar concentrations of the reactants, the time in which the molar concentration of the reactants is reduced to exactly half of its initial value is called what? Half life period. Remember carefully, very important term it is. What is meant by the term half life period? The time in which the molar concentrations or the molar concentration of the reactants is reduced to exactly half of its initial value is called what? Half life period. It is just a completion of the 50% of the reaction. That is nothing but what? The half life period only. What is meant by the term half life period? The time in which molar concentration of reactants reduced to exactly half of its initial value is called what? Half life period. Okay? And here this half life period is given by or designated as T half, or it may be T 0.5, or it may be small t, that is 50%. In this manner we just represent what is it? Half life period. Half life period can be represented as T half or T 0.5 or T 50%. It is totally 50% completion of the reaction. The time in which the 50% completion of the reaction, that is called what now? Half life period of the reaction. Yes, remember the definition once again. The time in which molar concentration of the reactants is reduced to exactly half of its initial value is called what? Half life period. Okay, now here in the case of the chemical kinetics, we apply this relation in case of the chemical reactions. We apply this one, what is it? Half life period of the zero order reaction, half life period of what? First order reaction, half life period of what? 2/3 reaction, 3/4 reaction. Like that we can take. There are some relations here given by the half life period of zero order reaction and half life period of the first order reaction. Yes, listen to me. Regarding the half life period of zero order reaction. Zero order reaction. Half life period of zero order reaction. We already derived the relation given by the zero order reaction, that is integrated rate equation for the zero order reaction. What is it? Integrated rate equation for the zero order reaction? K is equal to 1 by T into S molar concentration of the reactant R naught minus the molar concentration of the reactant after the time interval R naught minus R. This is the relation given by the integrated rate equation for what? Zero order reaction. Following all of you. Okay, now here we can take. Here we take regarding half life period of a reaction. T will be equal to T half we can take. And then what is it? R is equal to R is equal to what? Molar concentration of the reactant exactly reduced to half of its initial value means that is R naught by 2 we can take. Value of R is equal to R naught by 2. value of t is equal to just t half I can mention like this. T is equal to t half. T is equal to t half and R is equal to R naught by 2. But that R naught is called initial concentration, time in which molar concentration of reactant exactly reduced to half of its initial value. Exactly reduced to half of its initial value. So that we take R naught by 2. That is the value of the R. Okay, now you tell me, you substitute the value here in this relation. How can you substitute? We can write now this form. Even it is t half is equal to 1 by k we can write, okay? T half is equal to 1 by k. Or else write as it is, otherwise k is equal to 1 by t half into what? R naught. R naught minus what? R. What is the value of R? R naught by 2. It is R naught by 2. Okay, now? Then how do you simplify this one? R naught minus R naught by 2. You take LCM. This is equal to 1 by t half into 2 R naught, okay, minus R naught divided by what? 2 R naught minus R naught divided by 2 only. So now you tell me 2 R naught minus 1 R naught, how much you are getting? Tell me. Is equal to 1 by t half into R naught. This is equal to R, this into R naught divided by 2 we can take. This is the value of k. Or you can also write like this. T half is equal to R naught divided by 2k we can write. So this is the relation given by the half-life period and zero order reaction. What is it? Half-life period and zero order reaction, you know? T half is equal to what? R naught by 2k. Now 2k constant means for a zero order reaction, half-life period of a zero order reaction is directly proportional to what? That is R naught only. Means half-life period of a zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. So in that way, we have to remember this is very important. Is it not? This question will be asked usually 2 marks. Is it not? So just to derive the expression for the half-life period of a zero order reaction, you take the zero order reaction, integrated rate equation for the zero order reaction, k is equal to 1 by t into R naught minus R, and t is equal to t half, then R is equal to R naught by 2. Why it is R naught by 2? So after the time interval, concentration of the reactant exactly reduced to half of its initial value. R naught is initial concentration, by 2 we have to take. Then k is equal to 1 by t half. Following all of you, k is equal to 1 by t half into R naught minus R naught by 2. You take LCM, 2 R naught minus R naught by 2. 2 R naught minus 1 R naught, R naught only, R naught by 2. K is equal to t, 1 by t half into R naught by 2. Or this can be written as t half is equal to what to write? R naught by 2k, or t half proportional to R naught. So in this way, we can study about the integrated rate equation for the zero order reaction, and as well as what that is half-life period of a zero order reaction. It is very, very important to remember the points very, very easily. Very important what I am telling. Okay. And similarly, integrated rate equation for a first order reaction we can take. For a first order reaction. Okay, listen to me. What I am telling, these are all very important points only. Integrated rate equation for the first order reaction, integrated rate equation for the zero order reaction, these are all very, very important only. Okay. We derived that, or we know the term what is called half-life period, and how the half-life period and zero order reactions are related also we have studied. At the same time, one relation will be there, that is what the relation between the half-life period of the zero order reaction. The relation between the half-life period and zero order reaction. We studied that one, that is t half. According to that derivation for zero order reaction, t half is equal to, that is R naught divided by 2k. That is the final relation. In the same manner, we can take the half-life period of a first order reaction. We already discussed about the first order reaction. What is it? According to that integrated rate equation for the first order reaction, what is it? K is equal to 2.303 divided by t into, that is small t into log of R naught divided by R, log of R naught by R. This is the relation we have discussed, is it not? This is the relation we have discussed already. We have derived also regarding the integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. 2.33 by T into log of R naught by R. Following all of you. Okay. Now you tell me, we can take small t is equal to T half, right, or T 50% or T 0.5. And what is it value of R now? R is equal to, we take now just R naught divided by 2. Value of R is equal to R naught divided by 2. This is what important thing. While deriving the relation, these points should be remembered very well. What is it value of R? R, that is the concentration of the reactant after the time interval T. But here we are studying about the half-life period. Exactly half of the initial concentration. That is the only half completion. That is 50% completion. Initial concentration of the reactants reduced exactly half of its initial value. Hence you have to take R naught by 2. Substitute these value in the relation. Now you write now, that is K is equal to 2.303 S divided by T half into log of R naught, okay, whole divided by, that is R naught by 2. Tell me now here now, how to simplify this one. R naught and R naught get cancelled, okay na? Then you tell me, 2.303, okay, divided by T half into log of, that is 1 by 1 by 2, it will become what? Log 2 only. Yes, you have to remember the value of logarithm, that is log 1, log 2, log 3, log 4, log 5 values you have to remember. Is it not? It is easy to simplify some of the numericals, particularly in the competitive examinations. Some time these values are very important. Remember these values, that is log 1 to log 5 values are very important. Okay, now you tell me what is the value of log 2? Value of log 2 is equal to 0.3010 it is. We should know that. How do we get the value of the log 2 characteristic 0. Because it is only one digit. Digit is 1 means no, its characteristic will be 0 only. 0 point. You see the logarithm values to 20 under 0. 20 under 0, if you see, you are getting 3010. So, what is the value of log 2? 0.3010 is correct. Substitute this value here. Okay, now K is equal to 2.303 divided by T half into log 2 value. So, what is the value of log 2? Into 0.3010 we are getting. Or finally, what we get? K is equal to 0.693 divided by T half. This is one of the relation given by the half-life period of a first order reaction. Or you can write like this. Or T half, T 50% is equal to what? 0.693 divided by K. So remember these relations which are very, very important what I am telling. Okay na? So usually they ask the question. 5 marks question will be there. What is that? Derive the integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. Integrated rate equation for the first order reaction and show that, what do I have to show? Show that half-life period of a first order reaction is independent of the initial concentration of the reactants. Half-life period of a first order reaction is independent of what? Initial concentration of the reactant. How this form shows that half-life period of a first order reaction is independent of the initial concentration of the reactant. You see R naught is the initial concentration term it is. In this expression there is no initial concentration term R naught. Hence we can say that now half-life period of a first order reaction is independent of the initial concentration of the reactants. Is it not? So this is what the point remember regarding what now half-life period of a first order reaction is independent of initial concentration of the reactants. It is what very, very, very important. It is what I am telling. Okay. So we have to derive the integrated rate equation for the first order reaction along with what this one. So together they are asking sometime 5 marks question will be there. We have to make a practice. Definitely it is one of the known question and important question, compulsory question it is in the chemical kinetics. You have to derive along with what no half-life period of a first order reaction, along with what half-life period of a zero order reaction. These two derivations are there in this chemical kinetics. Compulsorily have to perfectly write and perfectly attempt in the exams. This is one of the important concept. Following all of you. Okay, now here now this is about half-life period and half-life period of first order reaction as well as what now zero order reaction. Okay, now we shall move towards one more concept. What is it? One more concept here? A relation between half-life period and order of reaction. Half-life period and order. You should know very well about this. Is one of the important thing also. In competitive examinations, so these are all very important. All the formula are very important. So remember the points what I am telling carefully. It is given by the relation. What is it? Half-life period and order of the reaction is given by, that is T half proportional to 1 divided by molar concentration of the reactant, that is R naught to the power n minus 1. To the power n minus 1. This is what very very important. To the power n minus 1. Following all of you. Now you see, this is what is called the relation between half-life period and nth order. You remember this, T of is called what? Half-life period only. R naught is called initial concentration of reactant only. And what is it? Small n is called? N is called order of the reaction it is. N is called order of the reaction. Whether it may be first order or it may be second order, even it may be third order. Should know the point. What is the value of n? Suppose I am telling that for a first order reaction or for zero order reaction we can take. For zero order reaction. For zero order reaction, how the half-life and initial concentration are related, can you tell me? You substitute the value of the n, that is 0. Then R naught to the power minus 1 and finally T half proportional to R naught we are getting, you know. What does it mean? Half-life period of a zero order reaction is directly proportional to initial concentration of the reactant. Half-life period of a zero order reaction is directly proportional to what is it? Initial concentration of the reactant. This is the relation. One more type we can take now, that is for a first order reaction. For a first order reaction. How this half-life and initial concentration of reactant are related, you know? T half right? T half proportional to, you see that. What is the value of n? For first order, value of n is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Anything to the power 0 is 1. So T proportional to 0 means, what is the meaning of this relation? Can you tell me? Half-life period of a first order reaction is what? Independent. Independent of what? Initial concentration of the reactant. Are you following this what I am telling? Order of a reaction, that is half-life period of a first order reaction is independent of what? Initial concentration of the reactant, right? Now you see here, half-life period of a first order reaction is independent on the initial concentration of the reactant. There is no initial concentration term here, means it is independent. So like this I have to just give the proper explanation about these things, is it not? And similarly for the second order reaction we can take. For second order reaction, how these two are related, can you tell me? T half is proportional to, you see that. What is the value of n? N is equal to 2 only. 2 minus 1, 1 only. Means the half-life period of a second order reaction is what? Inversely proportional to initial concentration of the reactant. This is the relation, we should know that very well. And similarly for a third order reaction, yes, what is it? T half proportional to 1 by molar concentration of the reactant to the power 2. It is inversely proportional to square of the initial concentration of the reactants. This is for what? Now this is nth order reaction. This is for nth order. This is for nth order. For nth order means it may be first, second, third or 0. So this you can apply for other reactions like for 0 order, first order, second order and third order. How the half-life period of reaction and the initial concentration of reactants are related either in 0 order or in the first order or in second order or in third order. So in this manner we should know some points regarding half-life period and the order of the reaction. These are all very important only. So for this one we can also plot a graph. Can you tell me just rough diagram I am just showing about the nature of the graph. In case of this one, yes, listen to me. If you plot a graph for the 0 order, if you plot a graph for the first order, if you plot a graph for second order, I am telling that this is for what now? 0 order. Yes, I take along y-axis that is half-life of a reaction, and this is R0, that is concentration of the reactant along the x-axis I am taking. Can you tell me how the half-life period of a 0 reaction and initial concentration of reactants are related? That is directly proportional to each other. Half-life of a first order 0 reaction is directly proportional to what? Initial concentration of the reactant. Hence we say that no, we are getting the nature of graph in this manner. We are getting a straight line from the horizon. As concentration of the reactant initially increases, then half-life period also increases. This is for what? That is a 0 order reaction. And similarly, along y-axis you take as it is T half, along x-axis you take as it is, that is R0. You are getting the nature of the graph in this manner. This is for what? First order. Can you tell me? However, it may be the concentration of the reactant increased. Is there any change in the half-life period of a first order reaction? It is independent of initial concentration of the reactant. It is independent of the initial concentration of the reactant. Means that is what, there is no initial concentration term here in this expression. Is it not? That is why what I am telling, the half-life period and initial concentration of the reactant are plotted according to that one, nature of the graph. This is what now the straight line parallel to the x-axis is obtained, means half-life period of a first order reaction is independent of the initial concentration of the reactant. Now in case of what now this one, second order I am taking one of the example, second order reaction. Yes, tell me, same as it is T half along y-axis, and this is concentration of the reactant along y-axis. I take here now 1 by concentration. 1 by concentration. Are you following? If you plot a graph of T half versus 1 by R0, you are getting what? A straight line from the origin. These are the nature of the graphs, you should know that. These kind of the nature of the graph appearing in the competitive examinations. That's why I am telling you, you should know all the points. While studying not only in the point of the PUC examinations, don't think like that. You have to study well about all these concepts. It may be nature of the graph, it may be relation given by like this only. These are all important things, is it not? So, what is the nature of the graph for the half-life period of a 0 order reaction and concentration? In case of the first order also, in case of the second order, in case of the third order. If you plot a graph, we are getting the nature of the graph in this manner. So these are all very important thing, and we should know that well about these concepts. Chemical kinetics, it is very interesting concept. You have to understand the concepts carefully. By knowing all these things, in the competitive exams also, particularly in the NEET or it may be in the JEE or in CET, we can expect this kind of the questions are here. Hence, we should know all these concepts clearly. Okay, in the kinetics, one more term we should know that what is called a pseudo first order reaction. Pseudo first order reaction. So here pseudo first order reaction. Pseudo first order, or there will be some examples like pseudo order reactions. It may be pseudo first order, or it may be pseudo second order, or it may be pseudo third order reaction. It is pseudo order reaction means, pseudo means what? Pseudo means it is false. Pseudo means it is not correct, like that. So what do you mean by the term pseudo first order reaction? This is very important. It is most expected question in the chemical kinetics, okay? Remember the point carefully regarding this one, that is a pseudo first order reaction. Okay. First of all, I would like to take one of the example regarding what on that pseudo first order reaction. What is that example? You see, one of the example for the pseudo first order reaction, that is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis of the compound ester. Hydrolysis of ester. What is it hydrolysis? What is it ester? Ester is one of the compound. It is one of the organic compound. And the functional group, it is one of the functional group in the organic compounds. You know, the general formula of the ester will be like this: R COO R dash. It is one of the organic compound or organic functional group called what, that is ester. Functional group will be like this: COO R dash only. General formula is like this, that is R COO R dash. Undergoing hydrolysis. Hydrolysis means what? No, reaction with water. Reaction with excess of water. Giving what product, you know? It use R COOH and one more, that is R dash OH. Following this one. Now this is what is called, you know, carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid, and it is called what? No, alcohol. This is one of the reaction regarding hydrolysis of ester. Ester, general reaction only. When you come across the organic reactions, there you will come to know that when ester undergoing hydrolysis, in the presence of what on that acids, like that is H plus we take, no? It is converted into what, you know, corresponding carboxylic acid and corresponding alcohol. Functional group of alcohol is OH. Functional group of carbonylic acid is COH. RCOH is the formula of the carboxylic acid. R dash OH is the formula of alcohol. ROH is the formula of the alcohol. Okay. Now here you see what I am reading. What is the rate equation for the reaction? You know, rate equation for the reaction. So rate is equal to K into molar concentration of RCOO R dash to the power 1 we take. Here 1 mole of the ester we are taking here now. And molar concentration of H2O to the power 1. Yes, remember carefully, understand the point carefully. Very important term. What is it? Pseudo first order reaction. Pseudo first order means what? What is the order of reaction, you know? What is the order of reaction, you know? Actually, it is sum of the powers, you know, 1 plus 1. So you should get what? 2. But it is not actually second order. Is it not? Why it is not second order kinetics? Why it follows? Why it does not follow second order kinetics? Here, you know, in this reaction, one of the reactant is taken in large excess. One of the reactant is taken in large excess. What is it? One of the reactant. Suppose here, no, ester is there and water is there. Can you tell me what is the molarity of water? Molarity of water will be, that is 55.55 m. Is it not? It is a molarity of water. Before start of the experiment, the molarity of water will be like this. It is already know that. In the first year, that is chemical equilibrium chapter, we have studied about the why that molarity of water is 55.55. Is it not? Mass divided by 1 kg of the mass of the, what is it? 1 liter of the water, it may be 1 kg of water, that is 1000 gram. Divided by molecular weight is 18 gram. 1000 by 18 are getting out of 15.55 only. So this is the molarity of water. How much? 55.55. But after the hydrolysis, only small amount of the water is utilized. Negligible amount of the water is utilized. Hence, so the concentration of the water is obtained 5.54 m after the experiment. So this concentration is negligible. Is it not? Therefore, instead of power 1 here, we have to take what? Power 0. Now can you tell me what is the order of the reaction? Order of the reaction is 1 for ester. 1 with respect to ester and 0 with respect to water. Therefore, 1 plus 0 will be equal to what? 1. It is said to be first order kinetics. It is said to be a first order kinetics. Can you tell me now what is it? pseudo first order reaction. Pseudo first order reaction. It seems to be second order, but practically it is first order. Seems to be second order, but practically it is first order only. Is it not? So now you tell me what is called that pseudo first order reaction. This is one of the example. If you want, I will give one more example regarding this one. That is hydrolysis of sugar. Hydrolysis of sugar I am taking. You know this formula of the sugar, that is C12H22O11. When undergo hydrolysis S, what it gives, you know? It gives C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. One is glucose and one is fructose will be available. This is a reaction. Here also the sugar, it is called what now? Sucrose only. Undergoing hydrolysis, giving glucose and fructose. Is it not? Now here, you know, rate equation for the reaction can be written in this manner. That is R is equal to K into molar concentration of C12H22O11 to the power 1 and water to the power 0 we are taking. Why water to the power 0 we are taking? Concentration of the reactant is taken in large excess, whose concentration is negligible. Hence we take what? 0. The order with respect to water is 0, order with respect to sugar is 1. What is the overall order of the reaction? What is the overall order of the reaction? 1 plus 0, that will be equal to 1. Said to be first order. You see, seems to be second order only. 1 mole of sugar and 1 mole of water. They react with each other, giving glucose and fructose. According to the reaction, it seems to be second order. Here also, according to the reaction, it seems to be order, that is a second order. But practically, it is first order. Hence, they are called what now? Pseudo order reactions. Tell me now, what is it for pseudo first order reaction? The reaction in which any of the higher order, it may be second order, maybe third order, maybe fourth order, whatever it may be. The reaction in which any of the higher order can be converted into first order by taking one of the reactant in large excess. By taking all the reactant except one in large excess. That is called what? That is called what? Pseudo first order reaction. Remember carefully. The reaction in which any of the higher order can be converted into first order by taking all the reactants except one in large excess is called what? Pseudo first order reaction. Following all of you? What is pseudo first order reaction? The reaction in which any of the higher order can be converted into first order. Any of the higher order can be converted into first order by taking all the reactants except one in large excess is called what? Pseudo first order reaction. For example, hydrolysis of ester we can take. We should show the equation here. Hydrolysis of ester. Ester plus water gives rise to carbonic acid and alcohol. Write the rate equation for the reaction. Rate is equal to K into molar concentration of ester to the power 1 and water to the power 0. Because water is taken in large excess, whose concentration is negligible. Because you know that now you have 55.55 molarity before start of the experiment. After the start of the experiment, you are getting the 55.54 molarity. Hence, what we say? The concentration of water used is very, very small, very, very less, negligible only. So that in this case, the reactant whose concentration is taken in large excess is neglected. By neglecting the concentration of the reactants which are taken in large excess, we can convert any of the higher order into the first order. Following all of you. Okay, now what is meant by the pseudo first order reaction? The reaction in which any of the higher order can be converted into the first order by taking all the reactants except one in large excess is called what? Pseudo first order reaction or pseudo unimolecular reaction it is. Pseudo unimolecular reaction. We can also define in a different manner. What is pseudo first order reaction? The reaction in which order is 1, but the molecularity is 2 or more, you can say. Because any of the higher order can be converted into first order means the reaction in which order is 1, molecularity is more than 1, that is 2 or more it may be. Like this also we can define what is meant by the term pseudo first order reaction. The reaction in which order is 1, but the molecularity is 2 or more. Like this also we can define. In a different manner we can define about what that pseudo first order reaction. This is very important, very important, most expected question in the examination. You remember definition along with one example, either this hydrolysis of ester you take or hydrolysis of the sugar you take. Any one of the example is very important because it is 2 marks question. Define pseudo first order reaction and give an example they are asking. Therefore, we should know very well about the term definition, that is the pseudo first order reaction or pseudo order reaction. There will be pseudo second order, but it is not there in the syllabus, but generally I am telling you. Pseudo second order means what? Pseudo third order reaction means what, you know? Pseudo second order means the reaction in which any of the higher order can be converted into the second order by taking all the reactants except 2 in large excess. That is called what? Pseudo second order reaction. Pseudo third order reaction. What is pseudo third order reaction? Generally I am telling, it is not regarding the syllabus only. Additionally, just I am telling these points. Pseudo third order means the reaction in which any of the higher order can be converted into third order by taking all the reactants except 3 in large excess. That is called what? Pseudo third order reaction. So in this way, we have to study, we have to understand the concept of pseudo order reactions. Pseudo order reactions in which we take one of the type, that is pseudo first order reaction. Define pseudo first order reaction and give an example. In this manner, you have to study the concept. Following?